Hey guys, how you doing? Ray here again. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, it's Nitro Kyosho. Today what we're going to be talking about is electric vehicles and nitro vehicles. I don't know if I want to say it's one versus the other. I just want to talk a little bit about the pros and cons of the both of them, and maybe let you guys out there in YouTube land decide which one might be right for you. Well, let's start out with nitro. Well, nitro, what is nitro? Nitro runs off a fuel called nitromethane, which is quite expensive. It's about $30 to $35 a gallon. These aren't obviously big cars, so a gallon of fuel will last you a long time, depending if you're racing, depending if you're backyard bashing, depending what you're doing. A gallon of fuel, you know, with a tank that is as small as they are on these, could last you a summer or 2 summers, depending how much you're using the vehicle. The nitro is a little bit more messy. It's a little bit more to clean when you're done. You get oil spraying all over everything. What else? You got to tune the engine. You got to break the engine in. There's a lot more to know with a nitro vehicle. There's changing the. You got to keep them running. The glow plugs have to be changed. What else? Well, they're noisy. They're loud. If you're in a neighborhood that doesn't agree with that kind of stuff, or in a condo complex, you might want to steer away from a nitro car and more towards an electric vehicle like this one here. They have electric vehicles that look just like that one, if that's the style you like. They have electric in buggies and truggies and monster everything now. So basically, and even on-road cars, you can get either or. The electric have really caught up with the introduction to LiPo batteries. They can be just as fast as a nitro car, if not even faster, but there's a price that comes along with that too. You could be spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars for LiPo packs. If you're running dual LiPo packs, it could cost you $300–400. So some people will look at $30 for a gallon of fuel and think that that's expensive. I'm going to go with electric. Electric's a cheaper way out, but it really isn't. The electric vehicles are, like I said, they're much quieter. So if you're in a neighborhood, you know, like I said, that doesn't. If you got a neighbor that's going to be complaining all the time, or calling the cops on you, or whatever have you, then you might want to steer away from that, unless you want to take it to a field or even a track, a local track to race it on. Personally, I like nitro cars better. I think that having an engine vibrating and running and an exhaust and the whole thing, it makes it more real to me. I absolutely love them. There is a little bit more, like I said, to know. You have to break the engine in when you get the vehicle. You just can't take one of these out of the box and start running them around the yard. You have to do a break-in process on the engine, which is can take a little bit of time. Basically, with an electric vehicle, now also with the introduction of brushless motors, is where you get that extra speed out of them, a lot more power and speed. I would say the durability of them both is equal. I mean, you can get most vehicles now today in either or, a nitro or an electric. Most companies offer either. Some of the companies that I personally like and that have been around for a long time is Team Losi, Team Associated, Team Kyosho, and Traxxas vehicles are very good. So those are some reputable companies for you out there. There's a lot of pop-up companies, and I don't want to get into slamming different companies because I'm not in the business of doing that. Everybody has the right on their own budget to choose what they want. But if you buy a little bit better of a quality vehicle, like from the companies that I told you, you will find that they're tougher, stronger, last longer, better customer service, and a lot of them, the parts will be made for years to come and not just a year and be discontinued, like with some of these new pop-up companies. But those are just some pros and cons, guys. Most electric vehicles, if they're not in a kit form, if they're like this, you can basically take them out of the box, charge them up, put your batteries in your controller, and you're off and running. They basically all come with electronic speed controllers nowadays. They don't have the old mechanical type like I had back in the old Timea cars. Basically, you know, they're both a lot of fun. Traxxas makes a lot of their vehicles now with waterproof electronics and waterproof servos. You can run them through mud and snow and everything. I wouldn't recommend throwing them in a pool like I see some idiots doing on YouTube. If you're spending a couple $100 or your parents are buying it for you, I would you know, take their warnings, what they say. Splashing water and running through puddles and little things is okay in snow, but I wouldn't be submerging them underwater because they are expensive. I mean, unless you have money to just, you know, piss away, then be my guest to do whatever you want with it. You know? But those are just, you know, some of the little differences. Most of them, the basic structures of the cars are the same. They all come usually with oil-filled shocks and the same basic suspensions and everything, and radio systems. But like I said, the nitro cars, just to recap, are a little bit more work. I think it's worth it. The reward for me to have something running and gurgling and, you know, vibrating like a real vehicle, and you nail that throttle and you hear that thing rip off. That's just a couple little my opinions on the both of them. Once again, some of the reputable companies, guys, out there to deal with that have been around for 60s, you know, since the 1960s or 70s or so on, 20-year plus companies, 30-year plus companies is I like Kyosho, Team Kyosho, Team Losi, Team Associated, and Traxxas makes a lot of good entry-level vehicles. They all come with a variety of different tires you can change and rims and you know, kind of personalize them. Different bodies, you can buy clear bodies and you can paint them the way you want. Put stickers on them and do whatever to make it look like the way you want it to look like. But generally, like I said, they're basically the same. If you bought an electric MP9 or a nitro, basically the frame and the suspension, everything is the same. It's just, and a lot of them nowadays have the changeover kit. So if you wanted to make this electric, you could buy the kit to change it over. That's just a couple of little my opinions on these, and I hope that you got a little bit out of this. It's just some general information, and you know, if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, it's Nitro Kyosho. And other than that, I really don't know other than that what really to talk about with these. So I guess we'll leave it at that for now, guys. So take care.